Hi, I'm Tereza with PotomacBeads.eu, and today I'm going to show you how to make my Antoinette's bracelet. This bracelet is done with cross stitch. It features 2 rows of cross stitch done around these Preciosa Bow beads in the middle. Other beads I used are Potomac Crystal rounds, Czech pearls, and of course seed beads. This beautiful bracelet also deserves ClaspGarten clasp, so I used that as well. If you want to know what items I used and the colors, go to the end of this video or below the video. Find in the description box all the links to PotomacBeads.eu or PotomacBeads.com for shopping in US, where you can purchase these items. My first version of Antoinette bracelet was featuring Crystal Labrador full Miyuki seed beads, together with some vitral light shades or tones. So I was working with silver, pinkish, AB or minty green beads. This time for the video version I wanted to work with something a bit more regal, so I chose red, gold, some pearls as well, so we will be working with that. And also here I chose our Potomac Crystal rounds 4mm size, but here I want to mix it up a bit and use both 4mm rounds and 4mm Czech glass pearls, because pearls, you know, that's the thing for regal, for me, for a regal look. So I want to spice it up a bit and show you a bit more than just the crystals. So we will be working with wildfire, of course. I have ready a piece of thread. I cut an arm span long piece of thread, but you can cut it longer or shorter, something that you feel comfortable with, because you will add thread many times around the bracelet, because there's a lot of stringing going on, so the thread is disappearing quite quickly. This whole piece is done with cross stitch, and I use some other tricks to make it a bit different and to make it go around a wrist like this, so it sits quite tightly around my wrist. So in the end, be sure to measure your wrist properly, but that's a long time away still, so we will start here. We will be working our way around the first holes of the bow beads. The bow beads are a bit curved like this, so this will be our front, this will be our back. This design is great especially for beads in finishes that can sometimes can be more easily rubbed off from the beads. Yeah, that's the pay for their beauty, basically, because I guess nobody wants to work with just opaque colors, so we like finishes, but sometimes they tend to disappear more quickly. So here I have bow beads. They are from the back, they are silverish, as you can see, and in the front they have nice light vitrile color to them. And like this, almost nothing of the bow bead is touching your skin, which causes the color to rub off. And like this, there's a big chance that the beads will actually stay with the color like this. The crystals are quite okay, and if you use Duracoat seed beads or some, here it's Crystal Labrador, which stays on quite long, or maybe all the time, then you are pretty much safe, and you can even use a very fancy clasp for this, because you will spend hours working on this piece. So this is definitely one of those pieces which deserves like very nice clasp This one is Elegant Elements, and for the other version I have ready the claspgarten clasp with the pearl and the crystals in gold-plated version. Firstly, I must say that this bracelet the project is not very suitable for beginners, because it's difficult to kind of picture even for advanced beaders what actually are the sides of the cube from the cubic right angle weave. So definitely try CRAW on something more basic if you are not sure, and then you can try your hands on this one. It's easy when you get the hang of it, but firstly it needs some getting used to, especially when you are finished with this row and then you want to switch to this one. So you need to do some mirroring in your head and picture it properly, so not to make a mistake. But don't worry, we will manage, I'm sure, and I think this is very worth it, this project. I like it very much. So to start, don't forget to check both holes of the bow beads, because once you edit them to the design, you won't be able to change them or replace them. So check the holes and you'll start. You'll start by picking one 15-0, one demi round, then the bow bead from the back side, you can also use stopper bead. Maybe I will edit just quickly. Just realized that it might be wise to do that. So I'm just quickly adding stopper bead like this, so my beads don't slide off. Add another demi round, another 15-0. This is part of the base of the cube of the square. So now add one 11-0, one crystal, one 11-0 again, then one 15-0, one demi round, one 15-0. This is the top part, this is here, and now we are going back, and there's again 11-0, crystal and 11-0, and now skip the stopper bead of course and go to the 15-0, the demi round, the bow bead from the back side, the demi round on the front, and the first first 15-0. Now we will be adding the base, basically, I think we can call it like that. So now add one 11-0, one pearl, one 11-0. This is the part in the front here. Then one 15-0, one demi round, a bow bead through the upper hole from the front, demi round, 15-0. Now it's good to slide it down. So it will be sitting like this next to each other. And now add 3 11-0s on your needle, and then go through this 15-0, demi round, bow bead, demi round, and 15-0, the row we started with. Now You need to assemble it in the right position, nice, like this. So now the bow beads will be sitting next to each other. On the back there is just 3 11/0 instead of the pearl which is in the front. This actually is a bit shorter than this thing on the front, which means that the bracelet will be curved in the end, because when you would put there both sides same, like pearl and pearl, then it won't get curved and it will be very difficult to bend with this design. Now we want to create like this front side of the little cube we are working on, so I will go up through the 11/0, the crystal, and the 11/0 behind the crystal. Then I will pick 1 11/0, a pearl. Okay, again they are running away from my needle. And now again 1 11/0, like this. And I need to mirror this on this side as well, so another 11/0, crystal, and 11/0. And I want to go through this 11/0, the pearl, and the 11/0 behind the pearl. So now it should be looking like this. And now I will close this side by going again through the 11/0 crystal and the 11/0 we started from. Don't forget to pull your thread. Yes. Now we want to do this upper side. It's not exactly a cube, it is a bit skewered on the top, but still you can picture it as a cube on the top because it has the same amount of sides. So go through the 15/0, through the demi round, and through the 15/0. Here again add 3 11/0. This is the back side up here. It mirrors this lower side. And now also add 1 15/0, 1 demi round, and 1 15/0, and go through the pearl and the toe and the 2 11/0s next to the pearl. And close it up by going again through the 15/0 and the demi round 15/0s and the demi round you started from, like this. And pull. Now you want to do the back side, so go through the 11/0, through the crystal, and through the 11/0 next to the crystal. Now through these 3 11/0s, pick 1 11/0, 1 crystal, 1 11/0, and go through these 3 11/0s on the top. Pull, and to finish it, go through the 11/0, through the crystal 11/0 as well, and through these 3. And to finish off the cube, we will go around this part as well. So go through the 15/0, demi round, and 15/0, and the bow bead between them, from the back to the front. Like this. This is just something to make it more stern, and we are not adding any beads in this step, so watch it out. Now we are going through the 11-0 crystal 11-0, through the 15-0 demi round and the 15-0 on the top, the 11-0 crystal 11-0 on the back side, and finally back into the 15-0 demi round, bow bead, demi round and 15-0. And the first section of this bracelet is done. Like this you will continue around the whole bracelet. It's the same the whole time. I will make another cube for you so you can see how to continue like this, because we will be skipping adding this part which we started with here, because you started with the crystals, but now we want to do this this square, I guess, from the pearls on the bottom. But like this you will continue. It's very repetitive, but for me it was kind of fun watching what is happening, because I very like it as you can see. And to continue, add one 11-0, one pearl and another 11-0 on the needle, then add one 15-0, one demi round, then the bow bead. After you check the holes, pick it from the front, then one demi round, one 15-0 and 3 11-0s. 3. Slide it down and go into the 15-0 demi round and the other 15-0 and the bow bead between them from the previous part. And now you have another base for another cube. Now we will add the front of this cube, so after pulling tight, go up through the 11-0, through the crystal and the 11-0 behind the crystal. Then add one 11-0, one pearl and one 11-0. That's again in this line, and then add one 11-0, one crystal and one 11-0, and this will go here. So now you want to continue and go into the 11-0, the pearl and the 11-0 behind the pearl, and this will close our front. So now go through the 11-0 crystal and 11-0 to the top, continue through the 15-0 demi round and the 15-0, and pull tight. Now add 3 11-0s, one 15-0, one Miyuki, one Toho demi round, one 15-0, and go through the 11-0 before the pearl and the 11-0 behind the pearl. And now go through the 15-0 demi round and the 15-0 behind the demi round. This finishes off the top. Now go down through the 11-0 crystal and the 11-0, then through these three 11-0s from the base, like this, and add one 11-0, one crystal and one 11-0, and go through these 3 11-0s on the top. Oh, sorry. So through the top, then again through the 11-0s and the crystal in the line. Don't forget to pull. Again through these 3 11-0s on the base. And now we need to close it off again without the beads. So go through the 15-0 demi round, bow bead, demi round, 15-0 to the front. Then through these 2 11-0s and the crystal between them. Through the 15-0 demi round, 15-0. And through the 11-0 crystal, 11-0, and finally again through the 15-0 demi round, bow bead, demi round, and 15-0. So continue like this, adding more bow beads and more cubes until you reach the length you need. My wrist is kind of tiny and I had quite a lot of bow beads. Let me count: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23 or something like that. So you will probably need more than one bag of bow beads. And also don't forget to count with the length of the clasp you will need to add. So here it's a quite a big gap, so don't forget to add it while you are measuring the length of the bracelet. When you have enough, then you will skip to the bottom and start basically from the beginning. So you will start right here, not on the other side, but I will show you later when I have this length done. Here is what I did with the one piece of thread I cut for myself in the beginning. So it's not that much, it's 9 bow beads, and now I would have to add a new one and continue like this. But I decided to show you how to do the other side, so we can both continue working on this project. It is fairly similar, but it is a bit inverted, so you need to invert it in your head as well. It's possible to do it very similarly, but this will be like the front you have here, but for me it's better to work still with the front, so it's a bit mirrored and the technique is the same, but you need to invert it. So I have my stopper bead ready, and now I will get to work and start the other row. I have a new piece of thread with my stopper bead, and I will start working. So add 15-0 demi round, go through the bow bead from the back to the front. Add demi round, 15-0, 11-0, crystal, 11-0, 15-0, demi round, 15-0, 11-0, crystal, 11-0. Slide it down and make a circle around the bow bead and go through the 15-0 from the back, demi round, bow bead, demi round, and 15-0. Now these two parts are the same but mirror-like, and now we can move to preparing the base. So now add one pearl, oh sorry, 1/11, one pearl, one 11. Then previously we just added the bow bead, but it's already there, so 1/15, one demi round through the bow bead, like this, one demi round, 1/15, and 3 11, and go again through the 15, the demi round, and 15. Now the base is done. Now we will move over to finishing this square of the cube. So go through the 11 crystal and the 11. Don't forget to pull tight every time. Add 11, pearl, and 11, another 11, crystal, 11, and go to the 11 and the pearl, and the 11 behind the pearl, and up through these two 11s and the crystal. So this is the front. Now over to the top, so go through the 15, demi round, and the 15. Pick 3 11s, then 1/15, one demi round, 1/15, and go through the 11 next to the pearl, and the 11 behind the pearl. And also through the 15, demi round, and the 15. Now the top is done. Now the back. So first go through the 11 crystal and 11, then through these 3 11s, one 11, one crystal, and one 11, and now go through these 3 11s on the top, and back through this 11s and crystal, and through these 3 11s, now we need to close the cube, and to do it, go through the 15, the demi round, the 15 again, and up through the crystal and the 11s, also through the demi round and the 15-0s, again through 11-0s and crystal, and through the 15-0, demi round, bow bead, demi round and 15-0. And now the first cube on this side is done. I will show you how to add the another one, and then you will continue either on this side, on the upper side, it's up to you. I will continue here and finish then the rest here, because this is the side which I prefer and which is easier for me to do. So now again we are making the base from the bow beads. So add 1 11-0, pearl, 11-0, 15-0, demi round, go through the bow bead from the front, and turn over, add demi round, 15-0 and 3 11-0s, and go through the 15-0, the demi round, the bow bead, and the demi round and the 15-0 on the other side. That's the base. Now again the front, so up through the crystal and the 2 11-0s, add 11-0, pearl, 11-0, then another 11-0, a crystal, and 11-0, and go through the 11-0, pearl, 11-0 next to the pearl, and up through these 11-0s and the crystal. So that was the front. Now the top, so through 15-0, demi round, 15-0, add 3 11-0s, then 1 15-0, 1 demi round and 1 15-0, and go to 11-0s and the pearl between them, and then again through these 2 15-0s and the demi round between them. And that was the top. Now the back, so down through the crystal and 2 11-0s, through these 3 11-0s, and add 1 11-0 and 1 crystal, 1 11-0, and go through these 3 11-0s, down to the 11-0s and the crystal, and through these 3 11-0s. Now we need to close the whole cube, so go from back to the front through the 15-0, demi round, bow bead, demi round and the 15-0. Now up through the crystal and the 2 11-0s. like this, then through these 15 O's and the demi round, through the crystal and the 2 11 O's and the 15 O demi round bow bead and demi round and the 15 O. Now the second cube is finished, so continue like this until you either have worked your way here or continue adding more beads, and then we will, until when you have the full length, we will add the clasp, and then we will do some more like fortifying or stringing more through the beads. I have reached the length of the bracelet I need. I chose to add a few more bow beads, so now I have 25, I think, so it's a bit more loose than the previous bracelet. So now all you need to do is to add the clasp, and then go through these beads and add some more, just some final touches, so the bracelet is nice and stiff, holds its shape, and we don't see these threads between the beads. I have added a new thread somewhere about here, so I have a longer piece of thread still ready in my needle, so I will continue with this one. If you have a very short one left, just add a new one, because now you will add the clasp and go through, so it's better to start a new piece of thread unless you have already a long one like I do. And you should have ended right here, coming out of the 15-0 on the front, just above the first bow bead hole. And there we will add a few more beads while attaching the clasp. I chose this one. In the end I will tell you what number it is, so you can probably, if you want, to add the same. And I will try to add the clasp so it sits somewhere around here. So add 1 11-0, 1 pearl and 1 11-0, then add 1 15-0, 1 demi round and 2 15-0s. So I have this on my needle, can slide it down and add another 15-0, so like this. And now go through the upper hole of the clasp from the front to the back. Pick 2 15-0s and skip these two and go through the 15-0, the demi round and the 15-0 behind the demi round, which creates a little loop around the loop of the clasp. Now pull so there's no thread showing. Now add 4 11-0s and turn the bracelet and go through the 15-0, the demi round, the bow bead and the demi round and the 15 on the other side. Might get a bit tricky. There, like this, and pull again. Now go up through this 15, the crystal, and oh sorry, the 11, the crystal and the 11. Yes. Then through this 15, the demi round and the 15, 2. And now sometimes it gets a bit tricky, because it depends on how big the clasp you have is. But what we want to do is to make another bridge from here to here. And the beads should be the same like we did it here. So we are starting from behind, so pick 4 11 and 1 just 4 11. Yes. I will show you what I want to do. I want to go here. Here, through the demi round and to the clasp. Anytime you are making something like this, try to hold the clasp in the position it's going to be. So something like this, and now I need to measure the length. And now it looks like I need to add more 15 oh sorry, 11. Sorry, my phone is ringing. Now it's fine. So I will add 5th 11. So the length of the little bridge is actually more fitting, yes. Then after you have the proper length in 11, add 1 15 and go through the demi round, the 15 behind the demi round, and also through one of the pairs of the 15s. Then through the loop of the clasp, then through the other pair of the 15s, then through the 15 and the demi round, and now to the upper 15, which was added with the 5 11. Now we need to connect this with the front side, and that means that we will pick 2 11, 1 pearl, and 1 11, and go through the 15, the demi round, and the 15. Yes, and pull. Now the bridge is complete, and this is how it's look from the back. So this distance is shorter than this distance, so there's less beads here and more beads here. The same goes from the front. There's only 2 11 and a pearl, and in the upper bridge there's 3 11 and a pearl. So we took care of that. When you lie down the clasp like it's going to be, you can see that this loop is somewhat in a line with this hole, so that's what we want. Now I will show you how to get to the other side, and we will be adding a few more beads only in this row and going through this upper row without any other beads. So now we are going to the back, but we need to be working in the front. So I will make a little loop by going through these beads. I will go through this 5 11-ohs we added, and then back through these 2 11-ohs, the pearl and the 11-oh behind the pearl. Don't forget to pull. Now what we want to do is going through this upper row, through these all 11-ohs and all the pearls, which will put these 11-ohs in place. Some of them, you know, can be more up and some of them more like down. I don't like that. See what I'm talking about? So I am going without any beads, just through this front line. So it's always 11-oh, pearl, 11-oh, 11-oh, pearl, 11-oh. This also gets me to the other side, where I will add the other half, the clasp. And I will go like this around the whole bracelet until I reach the other side, and then I will show you how to add the clasp on the other side, of course. So now the beads are sitting in their places. I like it so much when they are in just one line. Everything is equalized, or how to say it. You can see the difference between this row and this row. The beads are a bit jumping here. Here they are mostly in one line. That's what we just did. Now you want to add the clasp here. You will start here from the top, and it doesn't matter if you start here or here. And then we will go also back and add more beads here in these gaps. So go through the 15-oh, the demi round and the 15-oh. So we will be starting from the top and from the back. So as we did it here, pick 5 11-ohs, then 1 15-oh, 1 demi round and 3 15-ohs. Now you want to add the other half of the clasp in the right position. So it will sit like this. So I will go from the back to the front and add 2 15-ohs. I will again skip these 2, the first 2, and go just through the 15-oh next to the demi round and the 15-oh behind the demi round, and pull. It's the first half of the upper bridge. Now as we did it in here, pick 2 11-ohs, 1 pearl and 1 11-oh, and go again through these 15-oh demi round and the 15-oh behind the demi round, and pull. Try to adjust this whole thing we just made, so there's no thread showing and everything is nice and tight. Now we need to get down, and we will go through the back again, through this 11-0, the crystal, and the 11-0 behind the crystal, like this. And now go through the 15-0, the demi round, the bow bead, the demi round, and the 15-0 from back to the front. Now pick one 11-0, one pearl, and one 11-0, and also one 15-0, like this. Now go through the demi round, through the 15-0 behind the demi round, like this, and now through this first pair of the 15-0s, through the loop, and through the second pair of the 15-0s. Pull tight. Now we need to make the last section of the whole bridge. So go through the 15-0, the demi round, and the 15-0 we just added in the lower section. So that's this one. And now pick four 11-0s and go through the 15-0, demi round, bow bead, demi round, and the 15-0 from the back to the front. Now it's getting a bit difficult. Let me just wiggle with it a bit. I just hope I won't break my needle. Ah, I'm there. So like this. Just be careful, don't break any beads. Now it's getting a bit tight because we went so many times through these beads with our thread. And this is the bridge. Now when we have the clasp there, all it's left is adding 11-0s between these pearls and the 11-0s. And now we will be working with the lava red 11-0s. So we are the needle and the thread is exiting from this 15-0. So pick one 11-0 in the lava red and go through the pearl and the 11-0s like this. Again, pick another one and go again through the next 3 beads. And as you can see, every time we do this, the lava red 11-0 will sit in the little gap between the beads on top of the threads which are showing there, which is not horrible, but I think adding a bead will look much better. So continue like this until you reach the other side, and your thread there, knot it somewhere off and cut the thread, and then move over and do the same like we did here. Create a bridge between this and this clasp, then go back to the other side through these beads, make a bridge between the bracelet and the clasp here on this side too, and do the same with the red 11/0 like we are doing currently, and the bracelet will be finished. One more look before I move to this row. So I finished adding the 11/0. I really like the look, I must say, how it fits between the pearls and the golden 11/0. Even this round shape, it will fit the wrist perfectly, so I'm very pleased with this. And now I have another long piece of thread here on this side, so I will try to use this. Hopefully it will last till the end. If you don't have the same, just add a new one and start from this point like we did previously, and follow the instruction once again, and you should be able to finish this side easily as well, since it's the same. And finally the bracelet is done and ready for me to wear. So now it looks like this, everything sits perfectly. I can open the clasp and put it on my wrist. Yes, I made it a bit longer than the previous one, so there's a slight gap between the beads and my hand, so the bracelet can move a bit and it doesn't feel so tight. So in the end I used 25 bow beads. Now I will tell you what items I used. So for this color combination, I used Miyuki 11/0 in galvanized gold and white lava red. I used two colors for this one, for the other one just one of the 11/0. The 15/0 were also Miyuki lava red. You only need one tube of each. Then I used 2 tubes of Potomac Crystal rounds, 4mm. This one was light Siam AB. I used one whole tube and a few crystals from the next one. Then I used the Demi rounds in the 8/0 size. This is the Perma Finish Starlight. Then the bow beads. This is the Halo Razmatas, I hope it's pronounced. It's the red color with a slight gold finish. For the clasp, it's ClaspGarten clasp. It's the golden plated crystal pearl 2-loop clasp. We also have it in the silver version, silver plated version. And of course I used Wildfire for this one in the red color, And the last thing was pearls. I used one whole package plus few from the next one. So that's this color combination, and the other one was with bow beads, which were crystal light vitriol. You need 2 bags of bow beads for each bracelet, because we have it in packs of 20 and you need more than 20 definitely. Then I used the Elegant Elements clasp, the hex. with 2 loops, or you can use the gold one we had for this other color combination, but in the silver one it's the same, it's the silver plated crystal pearl. Then, because the other version didn't feature the pearls, it was made only with Potomac rounds, I used 3 tubes of Potomac Crystal round 4mm in light rose AB. So when you are not using the pearls, you of course need more of those crystals, so those were 3 tubes. The Miyuki 11-0s, I used only one color. It was Crystal Labrador Full, which of course meant that there was 3 silver beads here. Then I used 15-0s, it was Miyuki also, Duracoat Galvanized Eggplant. And finally the Toho Demi rounds, this is the Perma Finish Green Tea. So, yeah, and the wildfire, it was the grey color. So I hope I remember to tell you everything. So now you should know everything you would need to create this piece of jewelry, my Antoinette bracelet. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you can join our beading and jewelry making group, and you can show us your pictures of your jewelry, your results, everything, and or ask some questions if you are not sure about something from the beading world. So we would welcome you very dearly there. And thank you as always for watching, and happy beading!